Well, I was born in Mexico and I came to the US when I was about 2 years old. So we moved here at a young age. And then I grew up around Dallas really my whole life. So I've just
Okay.
been in Dallas. Mhm.
So Dallas homegrown. Well,
Yes.
Mexico.
Yeah. And then Dallas.
So do you still have your language and you share
Yes.
the
So
culture?
yes, I still hablo español. I still speak Spanish and
Okay.
English, and I did pick up some French here. So je
Okay.
parle un petit peu de français.
Is you fluent?
No, just a little, un
Just a
petit
little
peu.
bit. Oh
Yeah, a little
man,
bit.
that's cool. To even have that mean you multilingual, English, Spanish, and French. I heard
Yeah.
French is hard.
I feel like everything is hard if you make it hard because
Mm.
I feel like if you already know another language, it comes a little bit easier. But
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I mean, it is difficult learning a new language. I'm not gonna say it's not, but I feel like you can do it. Anyone can do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So growing up, you come from Mexico, coming transition into the United States. How old was you when you transitioned coming to the States
um,
with your baby?
I was two, so yeah, I don't remember too much of Mexico. I mean, I still go visit, but I don't remember
Okay.
like living over there. You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
like visiting for the summer and stuff. So I was really young. I was a
So you
baby.
really grew up in the United States.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't hard because you pretty much was here, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. I would say in the beginning, maybe when I first started going to school, it was like in a bilingual school, and then I moved to a full like English school. So that transition was a little difficult, but I mean, I remember it being pretty smooth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
because I was so young.
So growing up in school, how was I would say growing up in school in the American culture,
Mhm.
growing up in high school, how was it? You would say.
Since I kind of grew up around here, like I got, used to it, but I did see like a difference between like my family values and kind of growing up in school. Like a lot of different people like broken families or just not as close to their family as like the Mexican culture. Like we're really close to our family, really close to like everything. And I just noticed a little, not everyone, right? But like I just noticed that is a difference, like especially like family life with my friends and stuff like that.
And that's what that's the big issue with America, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have family culture. And I do know
No.
that about the Spanish culture. Every time I see y'all, it's a group of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Group,
Yeah.
everybody, that's probably 4 or 5 people in the house. They don't care. They got everybody there.
Yeah.
Always family, everybody close.
Yeah. I feel like in order to thrive, you definitely need a community around you. And what better community than your family?
Man, that's so
Yeah.
important that you say that because family is a big. I think it's a very big thing, but we just lost that in America. We
Yeah.
so kind of individual. They stuck us in the box here to
Mm-hmm.
where we just think about ourselves.
Yeah. I do notice that.
Yeah,
I do notice that mentality shift for
and
sure
it's
with
hard,
Americans.
and it's hard to grow a family, right?
Yeah, for
Doing that,
sure.
like, because
Mm-hmm.
your kids need a community.
They do. I think we all do to thrive because we could
Mm,
all help each other out. Like there's people in my family that do different things, so we have a network of people, and we all get along. So we refer like my sister, she's an esthetician, not esthetician, sorry, a nurse practitioner. She does like Botox and fillers, and one of my cousins a lawyer, another one's an architect, going to architect school. So like we can all, work together.
right,
Yeah,
and y'all learn, pick up,
yeah,
and
hmm,
that's what it's about, community and all that,
yes, helping each
and
other out.
exactly,
Yeah,
and so
love, like let's love.
important, and so growing up in high school, right? What anything you wanted to pursue, career wise, or you was kind of searching?
Yeah, I was searching for sure. So I did a lot. I was in sports and then I did band. So I played like trombone and piano. Then I did like broadcast journalism. So I would do like the news for the school as well. So I was really playing around. And then I did go to film and TV production like school. So that was like something I thought I would wanted to do. But then eventually like I started doing makeup and hair for the productions and I really liked that. So I decided to pursue cosmetology and do hair and
Man,
makeup just to like make people feel good and confident to accomplish their day. Like that's really why I love to do what I
so that
do.
was something you were just you like doing this. You said I
Yeah.
might as well pursue it, right?
Yeah, and I was naturally good at it without any training at first. So I was like, you know what? Why not pursue this if I'm already like pretty good at this?
Right,
And
right. And so that's when you went to school, right?
yes, and I was a very smart student, so like it was a difficult choice for me to pick like something like entrepreneur route or like going to school route. But I figured like I wanted to make money immediately, get my own stuff and build my empire, I guess,
Right,
from the
right.
start. So, and then I wanted to do something I would wake up every day and love to do instead of,
Man,
I wasn't really looking too much at the money. It was more like what do I want to wake up every day and
passion.
yeah, more passion
I
for
think
sure.
doing what you love to do
You
ain't
don't work
work.
a day in your life.
You-
Yeah, you
it-
really don't.
I'm telling you, and that's what, it took me a while to figure out what I'm doing. And
Yes.
so, but once you get into the groove of doing with something you love, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, with my culture too, like happiness is a big importance as well. So we always talk about like do what makes you happy, and I have noticed like life over there is way more simpler. People are just move slower and do what makes them happy as opposed to like the hustle and the money and things like that, like here. Makes a
Yeah,
difference too.
man, and that's a big difference. And
Mhm.
so, being an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
what was your challenges? Doing hair and trying to find different
I
clients.
guess, yeah. In the beginning, I was hustling a lot. So I remember having like four jobs, working at like two salons and then two part-time jobs. So for sure, like I didn't have clients in my chair at all for like the first couple years. I would just go out and like print out flyers, talk to people in the mall, stop them. Instagram, social media was a big deal too, like taking pictures, promoting myself, Facebook groups, like things like that. So networking events as well. So I would go to a lot of networking events, and I still do, and also like knowledge for cosmetologists, so they have like continued education, so I go to a lot of those courses and like events, and you meet people. So really just being confident, like talking to people, and you never know who you meet, and then that's how I really got my clientele, is doing all of that.
But the crazy thing, you say you wasn't having, you didn't have no clients for
No, for
about
like
2 years.
3 years I was not really booked, but I kept going because I was so passionate. I'm like, I know it's a slow start, but I'm gonna keep pushing. I know I'm gonna be booked, and now I'm pretty booked every day.
But see, that's why it's so hard for people to do it. Be an entrepreneur, because when you're
Yes.
working for
You
somebody,
have to want it. You have to
man,
want it. It's in you. It definitely
I
is.
tell,
You
I,
can, like we always say, like you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
man,
You have
you
to have the
got
motivation.
it's important because the struggle.
Hmm.
We talking about 2 or 3 years. The average person been like, "Oh, I'm good. I
Exactly.
ain't doing
And
that."
me, like I'm gonna share something. Like when I first moved here, I wasn't even legal technically. I didn't have like my citizenship, but I still found a way to hustle and had, multiple jobs and to get where I'm at. So definitely I think it's your mindset. If you just believe in yourself and do it, like other external factors aren't gonna matter because you really want it and it's in you. You know what I mean? So I think people just make excuses or complain a lot, and it's just like, no, if you want something, go and get it. Doesn't matter what anyone else says, and you will succeed.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and
tunnel vision.
man, ton of you absolutely right, because you grinding for three. We talking about 3 years. People get
Yeah.
when you the
And
different.
I had people around me telling me to stop. My mom, she's like, maybe you should find another job. You don't have, you're not making enough money. Maybe you should do this. I'm like, Mom, no, I believe in this. Like, and it was hard because it's your own parents, your own family telling you. So you really have to be that person to, think to yourself, like, okay, maybe I know why they're worried, but this is something I really want and it's my passion. So I have to go after it no matter what anyone else is telling me. You gotta believe in yourself
You
first.
got to,
Yeah.
because we talking about, that's why they said it, because I'm like, ain't no money in 2 3 years. What you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And of course there's not, you just started, so it'll be good. You keep
It
going.
pays off
It
at
pays
the
off.
end,
Yeah.
and that's what being an entrepreneur is.
Yes. For sure.
It's a grind, but you gotta. I heard a quote where a guy said, when you're
Yeah.
working for somebody, they giving you something
Mhm.
in return of your service. But when
Mhm.
you're working for yourself, you have to become attractive.
Yes.
And once you become attractive, then you can actually have a service to give.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. It's a different
Yeah.
type of experience. It's night and day,
It is.
and
It
that's why
is.
I'm saying I respect it. 2 to 3 years grinding,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
putting your name out there, building clientele
Exactly.
to do what you're doing now. I mean, it's crazy. You was able to do what you're doing now.
Yeah, and I don't even really think about it like that until I talk about it. I'm like, wait, yeah, that was a little bit of a struggle, and now I'm happy to be where I'm at. But it's true, like
I bet you they ain't regretting that.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. I love what I do every day, and I'm blessed to have a good clientele. Actually, a client just gifted me a car the other day, so
Man,
that just like different people in your life will really be a blessing, and you never know who you're gonna meet. And just it's why it's important to be nice to everybody or treat everyone with respect.
and building a network, and that
Yeah,
comes from you.
and being professional.
Yep,
Like I work with girls even that they do work for themselves, but they're not motivated to come in every day, and they're like wondering why they're struggling. It's just like you really have to put in the work. You have to,
man.
and you're your own boss, so you have to be the one to motivate yourself. It's hard when there's someone not telling you what to do. So that is
Golly,
difficult.
that's a challenge right
Yeah.
there. And so, going to the next segment, I want to talk
Hmm.
about what was your struggles just in life in general. You know.
Yeah, for in general, for sure, being an immigrant, trying to find jobs and making way for myself, for sure, that was one struggle. And then shortly after, in like 3 years of like like hustling, I did end up getting cancer. So I had
Man,
leukemia. Yeah, I was in the hospital for about 2 years, and then I did radiation, chemotherapy, like everything. It was very difficult on my body, and it wasn't working. So I needed a bone marrow transplant donor, and it was my sister. She's my only sister, so
man,
she basically saved my life, and that's why I'm here today. But
that's
that
amazing.
was definitely a struggle, yeah, for
Man,
sure.
that's really amazing to
Yeah,
be able to, come from that. You was doing the
yeah,
entrepreneurship at the time too, right?
I was, yeah,
So on
I was
top
just
of
starting, and
building it, struggling, you
then
was
it stopped.
man.
So
So
crazy.
was that a part? Was that around the time where it took you about 2 to 3 years
Mhm.
to build?
Yes, that was around that time. But honestly, like, I don't even look at it as a struggle anymore. I look at it more as a blessing just because I think I wasn't really like thinking to myself about what I'm really truly doing. So it really caused like an introspective moment to just think all the time because I was alone all the time in there to think about like, okay, what are my goals in life? What do I need to do, to achieve this? So actually really put me on the right path because after I got done with all the treatment, I was hustling harder and like, trying to
Golly,
build and all of that. And I think it just motivated me and to be grateful for small things in life as
man,
well. Puts you in a new perspective. Like
that
I
tells
feel like
you,
a different person
you
for
know,
sure.
that tells you that God got you in the position in your life where you here for a higher purpose.
Yes, it really does make you think about your purpose. And I really do think I'm here every day to help others because I do talk to them a lot in the chair and help them through life problems because I've been through a lot. And I feel like God puts me through these trials in order to help others so I can relate to them.
Man, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
For anybody who probably going through that
Hmm.
situation, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would just say take every day, day by day, and focus on your blessings around you, focus on the love around you, whoever's helping you, because it is difficult, I know. But just know if you think you're going to make it, you will be. Just stay positive, really, and just try to do things that make you happy every day. So just not put you in that negative mindset. And there's days that you're going to feel like that. I'm not going to lie. But I think you just fill the room with love around you and focus on the little things every
Man,
day.
so what would you say eating wise after going through what you went
Hmm.
through, going through cancer and
Yeah.
surviving? What did it change your eating lifestyle,
It
anything like
did.
that?
It changed my whole life, but for sure, eating lifestyle. I focused more on trying to eat healthier and not as much processed foods. And I did go vegan for about 3 years, but I just started eating like chicken and fish recently. Um, so just yeah, like eating more whole foods, healthier foods, drinking more water every day, cutting out all those processed foods. And there's days that I want like some gummy bears, of course.
Right.
So of course I'm gonna get them, like but mostly like try not to eat that all the time. You know what I mean?
Man,
Yeah.
man, just treating your
Yeah,
body
and
better.
working out, like, I love hiking or, like, just, staying active as well.
One thing
Treating
I
your body with respect.
one thing I heard was somebody told me that the food's supposed to heal your body
Yes.
and what you eat. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure by you changing your lifestyle, you
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, I do notice a big difference, like, my skin's better, I'm healthier, and, health is wealth. If you're not healthy, you can't work, you can't do anything. So it makes you really think about, like, I really do have to worry about my body and, like, treating it well because then I can accomplish the things I need to do. Because if you
Man,
don't take the time to rest and take care of your body, like, you don't have anything.
it's gonna be tough.
You don't have anything. Yeah.
You really don't.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about, because we talked about the relationships, but
Mhm.
what would say relationships in your life?
My
What
life.
do you learn from relationships in your life and your experiences?
Well, relationships with like as in
Like
romantic
yeah,
relationships, dating.
dating and
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I went through struggles with that too. I was married for about 5 years, divorced now, but I did go through some dating after that, and was in a lot of different situations, like I would say domestic violence situations,
man,
and like things like that, getting like knives held up to my face, like at one point. So really it was tough for me. And then I really didn't want to let anybody in. But then I realized like I can't be like that. I can't like let my trauma control my new relationships. So I got on like this dating website on Facebook and then talked to like the first guy, and he just seemed really sweet, and I'm still dating him like 6 months later.
wow.
And he's like a sweetheart. He literally came out of nowhere.
You know what's amazing about you
He's super
saying this?
healthy.
Because most women who go through a lot of trauma, they
Hmm.
let their past destroy the
Exactly.
future.
And that's what I learned the most. You can't let that. You can't do that. You can't let your past control what you're wanting. Like, of course, you're gonna process it, and it's difficult, but you can't let that control like that. Your what's coming into for you. You can't do that because then you're gonna just block your blessings that way. You have to be able to be receptive and open your heart.
Man, and it's so real because there's so many
Mhm.
women who let they pass and they've been through a
Yeah,
lot of trauma, and
exactly.
they but put this wall, and
Yes.
so you miss the blessing God gave you, and
Yes.
they grow old.
And not everyone's the same. I know it may seem like it. Like, trust me, I
Yeah.
went through a lot of it, and I was like, wow, everyone must be the same. But once you think like that, you're gonna bring all that trauma into your new relationship, and that's not fair to your new partner, because it could be your blessing that you're just
Man.
treating horrible
Man,
because of your past. So you got to
man,
start fresh with everybody.
you got
It's
to,
hard, but you have to.
because you never know what God brings in your life,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's what we had to learn as people. Like, your trials is what helps you grow in life. It's a
Yes.
learning experience, so you
Yeah.
know what to look for, what not to look for.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
I agree. I do take everything as a learning experience, either
and
a
so
lesson or a blessing.
and it's important because when you talk about your life and relationship, do you grow up in like two-parent household, mom and
Yes, I did. So my parents are still together 26 years later. My
man?
grandparents as well, like over 50
Woo wee!
years.
Congratulations to that.
Great grandparents, like both sets of grandparents. So my aunts and uncles are still together all around me. So I did grow up with really good values as far as relationships go. So I thank my mom and dad every day for having a healthy relationship. And
Wow.
they did show me what it's like to have a healthy relationship. So thank God for that, because that's how I knew how to, pick out red flags in my relationships for me not to
So
stay or leave, because I know most people don't have that, and they're going to stay with that partner that's hitting them, that's doing that. But like me, I had that example. My father would never do those type of things. So I'm not going to put up with that. I'm going to get up
right,
and leave no matter how much I love that person. You can love them from far away.
man,
You need to respect yourself.
it's important because we talk about the family curse,
Yeah.
and a lot of people suffer from that. And for you to be able to navigate in the way you was able to do is because of what you saw examples,
Yes.
and that's important,
And I thank God for that every day. Yeah, for sure.
and your kids can actually live by the next example that you
Hmm.
set when you build your family.
Yes, for sure.
And I mean it's important. That's part of the reason why we dealing with what we dealing with.
Yeah.
With
Yeah. It's the
the dating
collective.
scene today is terrible because
It's very terrible.
but it goes back when you talk about like the family, right?
Hmm.
So the dating culture is hard because they're coming up with no families.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I don't see no examples.
Yeah,
So what am I
exactly.
supposed to do? I'm just out here just trying to do my thing,
Hmm.
and that's the thing, you see toxic examples, so you live by that.
Yes.
So that's what you attract. You are what you attract. I
Yeah.
learned that from somebody who, you gotta work on yourself and once you see. And that's
Yeah.
why I said I respect you because you say you was able to see, you like, hold up, I gotta let me dial it down, let me figure
Yeah.
things out. And you learned and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it this way.
Exactly.
And that's how you grow.
Exactly.
And I respect it
Yeah.
because man, it's a tough market right now.
It's a tough, yeah, it is for sure. And I feel like also like we're influenced by things we see on social media, things we see as like even artists we love in music. Like they all sing about like certain things that really shouldn't, I don't agree with, I guess. But it's just like it's almost mindless. It's like almost an agenda. Like you're gonna wake up and listen to, I don't know, Bad Bunny talking about having 7 girlfriends. So like people think it's normal and it's okay. So I feel like that has something to do with our
Yeah,
culture as well.
the yes, it's the music.
Yeah,
The
I've even
music
stopped
influence.
listening to certain music. Now I wake up and listen to like songs that talk about positive things, positive affirmations. Like I've changed that, and I've watched like my lifestyle change after like really paying attention to the music I listen to and what I watch. I don't even really watch TV.
Man, that's deep because it
Yeah,
is the music. It really
yeah,
is.
everything.
It's the music that's influencing the next generation to it.
Hmm.
Well, you got the over sexualization of women,
Yes.
and I mean, I got to speak the truth. You go on Instagram, it's like,
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Exactly. But that's why you have to be that person to not want to change. And that's why you have to
right.
go through your Instagram and unfollow these people. Follow only like positive things. Follow people that you look up to, and that really will change what you're looking at every day.
You know what?
You have
That's
to be
true.
conscious of it.
That's true because if
Yeah.
you do change, you change the
Yeah.
algorithm on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people you subscribe to.
Yes.
You if you're an entrepreneur, you want to subscribe to people who's pursuing positive things that you try to pursue,
Exactly. Yes.
and that's what bringing positive energy. It draws to you.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
draws positive people to your life.
I feel like we're the ones that have to change as well in order to make a bigger
Self
change.
accountability. You
Right.
know what? That is true.
Because if no one's watching those videos, you're not going to be popular.
Right.
All I watch on my now you all you go and see is like cat videos, and I love
Yeah,
it. I love
right.
opening up my phone, seeing cat videos. Like that's fun.
So there's a market for everything.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's true. What you put into your life is what you will attract.
Yes. Yeah,
and
law of attraction for
and that
sure.
is important. I want to talk about, one of the settings we have, respect.
Mhm.
When it comes to respect in your life, how do you live by it? When it
Respect. I really was raised to respect everybody. Even if someone does disrespect me, I understand maybe they're projecting or going through something, and I really just respect everybody because I don't know that person or what they're going through or
mm,
what they've been through in their life. So I really just try to respect everyone unless someone's, coming at me like punching me in the face, then
right,
maybe I'm going to punch you back. But I really, respect is earned as well. So you really just have to, got I guess just like have a big heart and understand like not every you don't know what everyone's going through. You should
right.
respect
That's a
people.
that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Because respect it's an all around thing.
Yeah.
Because because I just learned in life. I had this thing where I'm like I dealt with people who just disrespect me, and then
Mm.
I would tolerate it in my life.
Mm.
But I learned now from what you're saying is that you never know what people go through, and also it teaches you to stay away from certain people.
Mhm.
It teaches you to read the room. Once you start learning how to read the room, you know, okay, this is the person you stay away from.
Yes.
This is the person
Yes.
you
And
need to
you
be
can still be nice to them,
right.
but you know yourself like, okay, gotta
Mhm.
distance myself from this person.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't need to stoop down to their level as well to
abs-
disrespect them. You
yeah,
gotta keep your own energy. When people say I match energy, I don't believe in that. I believe in just keeping your own energy. And if someone's doing something, don't match it because it's just gonna look, you're gonna be out of your own. That's like not being your true authentic self.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to ask you is like in the hair industry,
Hmm.
what did it teach you when it comes to like marketing, people? What overall did it teach you, being in the hair industry?
In what way? Like, so.
When it comes to like marketing to people,
Okay.
um, what brings the attraction for people who are out there, for women out there who want to be
Oh,
a hairstylist?
I really think being your true authentic self, like I was talking about, so
Mhm.
just being yourself, you'll attract your own clients, because everyone has different clients and stuff. So I think if you stay true to yourself, you're gonna have a better time attracting the people you want in your chair. So for me, like I try to manifest clients that are like me, so we can relate, we can talk about subjects and things like that. So it's really what you're wanting out of your job and who you want to interact with every day. And I also pray and ask God to bring me people that need my guidance because I know I have a lot of wisdom. So I do ask for that as well. So really it's like what you want out of it, what you want your purpose to be and things like that. But I learned that everyone's different and everyone goes through things and it's nice to have a place, a safe space for them. My clients, it's a safe space for them to talk to me about what they're going through, walk
Man,
out with gorgeous hair. So yeah, just learn that
and,
people are just
and
different.
and I gotta ask you because I think it's a great industry you in, because man, you building personal real relationships with people,
Yes, exactly.
and it turns into great things when it comes to networking and your
Hmm.
business. Because you talked about how someone gave you a card, right?
Yeah, I cried when she did that. I was
Uh,
not expecting that.
because of what you did for them. Because
Yeah,
doing what you're doing, you may have said something that made them change what they do in life.
and yes, it's true.
And that's I say it because I deal with people cutting my hair, and I talk to them about everything,
Mhm.
things in life.
Yeah.
And it's
Barbershop
crazy.
talk.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and it's just like that.
It's like
You
that
be
for
able to talk
women.
about relationships, whatever
Mhm.
you're going through, and that person can inspire you to
Right.
be better or help you with a situation, right?
And that's why I think it's important to set a good example as well. And, for your clients, for people around you to help, because that's why I really take value in just doing what's right and, trying to better myself because then my clients see that. So we're leading by example.
Right. And I think that's a great thing,
Hmm.
doing what you're doing. Because for you to be working and striving like you have done, you
Hmm.
put a lot of work into the people because you investing.
Yes.
So you
Hmm.
investing into the people, and then
Hmm.
therefore they invest into you.
Yeah.
Because in everything, because you're an entrepreneur, you know that it takes people to win in life.
Yeah. The community.
Yeah.
Exactly like what we talked about.
It's a both end perspective, like for overall in your business and everything, right?
Yeah.
And so, one thing I want to ask about you being an entrepreneur in the industry, um, doing hairstyle. What hair do you do? You all around hair, cut hair?
Yes, I do. Everything. I do haircuts. I am a color specialist, so I do a lot of hair color, a lot of color corrections. I've been doing it for about 10 years. But I also do braids, I also do dreads, I also do fades. So
Dang, you do okay.
yeah, I do literally everything. And because I just love it and I'm passionate and I do volunteer a lot. So I go through a lot of shelters or like homes that need like free haircuts and stuff like that. So I had to learn how to do everyone's hair because I want everyone in my chair, you know? And I
Right.
just love it. I love it.
That's dope, you know, because some people like they kind of stick to a one
Yes,
certain
I
market,
know.
but for you to be diverse, I mean, I
I
mean that's
just get
expanded.
honestly, I just get bored and just love learning. So I just keep going to different classes.
That's dope. That's dope. So, what is your ultimate goal in the
Hair
hairstyle?
industry.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal is to open up a big salon with me, my sister in Dallas, and just really have a good like Latina based salon,
Okay.
Latina owned salon, and then to help my community as well. And then probably like Sundays have it open for people that need like services and things like that. Like homeless, shelters, things like that.
That's dope.
For me to have transportation for them to come in my salon and give back. So I really want to start that. And I know if I start it, other salons are gonna want to do it. And it's gonna like be a chain reaction.
Man, I mean, you can
Yeah.
expand on that.
Yeah. So just that's my dream. But yeah, it's slow. It's slow.
It's definitely, I
Slowly
mean,
getting there.
the grind. You know, you shine the then you keep the grind. So,
Yeah.
one thing I'm gonna ask, what advice would you give any woman that want to be into the hairstylist industry?
I would say definitely want it. You have to be passionate about it. Don't do it for the money because you're not gonna make it. And just keep pushing and you will get clients. It just takes time. Yeah.
Man, that's hey, and that's what it is right
Yeah.
there. I want to thank all of y'all for supporting. We here with the hairstylist, Stephanie.
Yes. Thank you
You
for
know,
having me.
so I appreciate all y'all for supporting. I am
Thank
out.
you.